Oh, what's going on, people? What is going on, people, man? Hey, we on that CP night time, not the Cordero Patterson time, but we on CP time tonight. We apologize, but hey, these are your boys, the heavy hitters, coming in on a Tuesday night for the heavy hitters. Boom! Right there in your grill. To go ahead and introduce myself. I am your boy, the sixth man. KStylzz, aka the fullback of AFN. Bless you. God damn. He said, what the fuck?
That's an intro for you.
Hey, I'm about to say, let it all out. Let it all out.
Let it all out.
And hold on. Let me go ahead and introduce the other heavy hitters of AFN, if you don't already know. To my stage left, we got the mad scientist, Mad Mike Sports, the great one. And at the bottom down here, this is the man y'all love to watch. He is the minister, Jew. Talk sports. What it do, fellas? What it do, fellas, and people that are watching? How are y'all doing this evening? We appreciate you coming in and watching us tonight. But before we start the show, y'all should already know by now what goes on here. We got to hit them with the real roll call. Okay. We got Tell Sports and Gaming. I saw Lyric's mom in here. She said she 2 shots in already. I'm like, oh, Lord. We got Noah Tyndale. We got Joseph Thornton. We got Fred Butts. We got CK22. We got the homie Devon Stanford, Asia Green. We got Low Ski, Workflow Dre, Brian Peoples. Hey, Blackheart, what's going on? Exipo Basie. Raheem DeVille. We got Andrew G. Gonna get Michael Walker. We got Trauma Locks, Eric McDowell. We got the homie Pody TV. And we're going to end it with Pat Norris for right now. So, what's going on, fellas, man? What we got for the people, man? How y'all doing?
Let me address something real quick.
Uh-oh. What happened, man?
Let me hit that. We got this comment. First of all, I want to say, well, let me just, it's not a nice way for me to even put this. What we are, I'm positive that everybody can see what we are, okay? As far as we 3 black Negroes, okay? Let's just make that clear. We're obviously black, all right? But we're more than that, all right? We're more than that. And AFN, first of all, and most importantly, is bigger than that. This is not a place for black men solely in itself, but that's highly disrespectful to what we stand for. Not just me, what we all stand for. If that's how you see me, if that's how you see KStylzz, if that's how you see Jew, then you can hit that unsubscribe button. But you would not, if we see any more comments like that, we're just going to block you from the platforms. That's not what we represent. We welcome all people, and those are the type of comments. This is the reason why we are, as a fan base, are fighting amongst each other because of ignorant shit like that. And excuse my language, but ignorant stuff like that. We're bigger than that. We're better than that. And I don't tolerate that type of shit anywhere near my platform, our platform, and anywhere near me. That's how you think. You can take your ass to the left. We don't do that over here. But we're going to have a good night. We're going to have a good night. But this is not what AFN stands for. We're here to bring people together. Whether we agree with each other or not. But we're here to bring each other together. And like I said, that's the last time I'm going to tolerate any type of any comment like that on my platform. From this point on, anybody do stuff like that, you just getting blocked, bro.
Hold on, man. I ain't mean to sound like I was laughing about it and stuff like that, but I don't know a lot of people say about this. Hold on, let me go ahead. Hey, Mike, go ahead and put it back up here so we can interpret this right quick. What? So for people that said they missed it, basically what Jarvis Murray is basically saying is, if you like Matt Ryan, you hate black players. That's basically what he literally just said.
Pretty much.
That's really what it. And this is how a lot of people think. This is how, and these are usually the people, are the reason why the Atlanta Falcons fan base is a laughingstock, not because you like mediocrity, but the fact that you're trying to paint a coon narrative because of one player, because that's literally what he did. So if you like Matt Ryan, you hate black players. Hey, like you said, if you think that people are like that because of a quarterback, hey man, I just be honest with you. You need to be rooting for a team that fits what you like. Yeah. So, hey, that's it on that. And like I said, for the people want, and like you said, if people want to go ahead and keep spitting that type of stuff right there, like I said, literally, this will be the last time you'll be able to see anything AFN related. All right.
Like I said, we just don't get down with that. But let's get into these keys, baby. We got a big game coming up. I think this is the biggest game of them all, bro.
All right, man. So I'm about to say we got a very special guest in the background too, boy. Somebody excited for these three keys, man. Okay, so for a lot of people that already know, we got a big game against Tampa Bay. This is the game this is the prove it game for a lot of people. Which in actuality it is, which is true. Like I said, this is a prove it game. We still ain't beat Tom Brady. It's been since week 2 since we played him. Is it the same team? No. Is Tampa Bay kind of rocky right now? Yeah. Atlanta is rocky right now too. So this game is literally going to be a make or break game for the Falcons. So, Jude, go ahead as the minister, and we're going to let you go ahead and bless us with the 3 keys for the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, so this gonna be off the top of the dome, which is normally is off the top of the dome, but 3 keys to victory for the Atlanta Falcons. The first key to victory is going to be physicality. Like we have to run the football like we did against Jacksonville. In this game, you're really going to have to stay ahead of the chains. This is going to be similar to last week. I talked about it last week. We struggled the 2 weeks when we didn't have CP prior to the Dallas game when he went out early in that game with the ankle injury and then against New England. But we seen last week, we came out with a certain mentality that we were going to run the football. They talked about it after the game. If you guys watched the post game, not our post game show, but if you listen to their interviews and them talking to the media after the game, the players and the coaches, CP basically stated that Arthur Smith challenged them. Like, we got to be better in the run game. That's what all of them were saying. Matt Ryan talked about it after the game when they interviewed him. It's like he basically said what you was talking about last night, KStylzz, that you're only good as the players around you. Like he talked about it. The running game like carried us last week. The running game and the defense. And you need a team around you to win games. So my first key to victory is going to be the physicality, the trenches. Like you have to run the ball in this game. You have to stay ahead of the chains. And both on the offensive line and the defensive line, we talk about it week in and week out that the game is won in the trenches. And if you get into those third and longs, kind of how we did in that last game against Tampa Bay, where they had those tip passes for interceptions, pick sixes and stuff like that. Tampa, we know that they like to blitz. So you get in those, obvious passing downs, as Arthur Smith always talks about, where you make it a drop back game and it kind of eliminates our running game. If you fall behind in this game, it's going to be really difficult to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we're definitely going to have to stay ahead of the chains, and we're going to have to stay unpredictable. We can't be predictable. Like if you get down big in this game, then it becomes a drop back game. It takes the run element out of the game. So I think in this game, you're going to have to start off physical. Second key to victory for our Atlanta Falcons is actually going to be KStylzz' favorite side of the ball, which is the special teams. We've seen Morstead last week booting those punts and pinning the opposing team within their own 10-yard line. So in this game, that's going to be very important, like special teams, whether it's our punting unit, giving us good field position, whether it's the defense getting a turnover. You got to win the field position battle in this game. That's going to be very important. It was important last week. That was another thing that Arthur Smith talked about after the game, and he talked about a little bit on Monday in his press conference that the special teams kind of goes overlooked, but the special teams played really well. Like Thomas Morstead punted the ball really well on Sunday, and that really showed for the defense. It put them basically made the team have to go 85 to 90 yards each time down the field. So we want Tom Brady to have to go the long route because we know that Dean Pease doesn't like giving up the deep pass. So if you can pin them deep and make them go 85, 90 yards every drive and don't give them no short fields, you can make it tough for them, and you can actually make the drives longer where they may actually have a turnover. Because the more plays you go, the chances are you're going to make a turn. You're going to have a turnover if you got to go 12, 13, 15 play drives. So we're going to try to avoid, the big play in this game. So field position is going to be my second key to victory for the special teams. And then the third key to victory in this game for our Falcons, I always say coaching, but in this game, it's really going to come down to the turnover battle. I really think the third key to victory is going to be turnovers. I think in this game that the defense, they're going to have to steal a possession away from Tom Brady in that offense. So we're going to need A.J. Terrell. We're going to need Jalen Hawkins. One of those guys to come away with an interception. We're going to need Anthony Rush to come up like he did last week, cause a fumble. I don't know if Deion Jones is going to play in this game. If he does play in this game, we know that he's really good at picking the ball off. So we're going to need somebody to step up and make a play on the defense because you don't want to get into a shootout with the Buccaneers. Even though they're I think they have some injuries. I think AB is injured. They still are really, really talented. And we know that we're kind of shorthanded without Calvin Ridley, without Hayden Hurst. So in this game, you want to muck this game up. We're going to have to try to shorten this game and, try to limit Tom Brady in that offense. So we're going to really have to do a good job of trying to take the air out of the football and the offense stay on the field. Because if you guys have been watching the Washington football team, they've done a great job at that. When they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they went on like a 10-minute drive, 8-minute drive last night against Seattle in that Monday Night Football game. We're going to have to try to do the same exact thing. We don't want Tom Brady out there on the field, because the more chances, the more cracks you give Tom Brady at your defense, chances are they're going to score a touchdown. So it's going to be very important in this game that we try to limit them. So we're going to have to steal a possession somehow, some way. Somebody's going to have to come up, cause a fumble, Dante Fowler. Somebody going to have to make a play on the defense to steal a couple possessions, put Matt Ryan in the offense on the short field. And you got to score touchdowns in this game. We already know you can't go into this game kicking field goals. That's the quickest way to a L. You come out here kicking field goals in the red zone against the Buccaneers, that's a design for a L. You're trying to catch an L if you're in there kicking field goals. Like, you got to score touchdowns in this game. And with that being said, I'll leave it to you guys.
Take it that way.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna go with two keys. Because I honestly think it's gonna come down to two things. You kind of went over it, but I'm kind of expand on it a bit. Instead of the Falcons just rushing, obviously we know Cordero is going to do his thing for the most part, but I think we're going to once again, and this is the reason why last week I pretty much brought up Mike Davis again. We're going to need him. As much as he's just disappointed us, we're going to need him in this game. Okay, we're going to need him, and not only that, we're going to need Quadri Olsen, Garma, one of those guys, to step up. If Quadri should if he should be active, but we're going to need all our running backs to really just take over this game. Tom Brady is a guy that understands time of possession. He's a guy that understands that the more that he continues to get first downs, the clock is going to continue to run. And like you said, the more that you keep him on the sideline, looking at his fingers, looking at and screaming and, looking at his helmet, pacing back and forth, the better. And it's not just him, any quarterback. The more you keep the opponent on the sideline, the offense on the sideline, the better, the more likely you're going to come out with a W. So the running back crew, the running back core, they have to take, and they have to have the biggest game of the season at this game, because this is it. We talk about making an impact with those small, intricate details we always say. Those 3 to 4 games, them 3 to 4 plays, this is the game. All right. Even if the Falcons end up 9-8, 8-9, nothing else matters. I need to see these guys come out in this game and say, look, we may be shorthanded, we may be, less talented than the Bucs, but I want to see effort. So at this moment, the running back core has to step up, and I think this is the second one. I think this is pretty obvious. We got to have Debo. I don't trust Michael Walker with a Tom Brady. You're going to need Debo. Debo he's instinctual. He's smaller, but that dude got hella instincts. He played the intricate part in last game, getting back into it. He got pressure on Tom Brady. And as we all know, you throw that ball anywhere near him, it's a chance that he can take that mug to the house, pick it off and take it to the house. So we're going to need the running back core and Debo to really take this game and make an impact on this game if we're going to win.
Oh, man. Hey, I about to say, man, y'all hit on some good points. I think one of my 3 keys is going to be, it's going to have to be this offensive line. What I feel like Tampa Bay is going to do right off the gate is they're gonna bring pressure because they're going to look at those last 2 or 3 drives they played against Atlanta last time, and pretty much they might go with that game plan with the double-A gap blitzes and take advantage of the fact that these wide receivers may not get open or they might not be well against man coverage. So it's going to come down to this offensive line. They're going to have to play well. Drew Dahlman, Matt Hennessy, whoever starting at center, they're going to have to pick up these defensive keys to where they can keep Matt Ryan upright. Second key, and like I said, you pretty much said the second key is going to come down to field position. What is field position?
Mm-hmm.
Special teams. So I definitely agree with you on this one. It's going to come down to special teams. But like you said, you gotta give Tom Brady them long fields, them long drives. Now, it's not a guarantee that you're gonna stop them on a long drive, but what you do is the more plays they run, the more tendencies you can pick up on that offense, and it gives your defensive coordinators a chance to see a lot of more nuances. And also, what comes down to field position as well is the return game. They're going to try these return. They're going to try Avery Williams. They're going to try Avery Williams to see what he can do. So we're going to need him to get us some good field position too. And my third key, the most important key, it kind of goes with what everybody said, but you got to do it for 60 minutes. From the beginning to the end, you got to do it for 60 minutes. Because even the last game, we didn't do it for 60 minutes, but we played 2.5 quarters worth of football that could have gave us the victory. But the last 5 minutes of the last game is what cost us with the turnovers. So you got to play the field position game. You got to run the ball. You got to score touchdowns. You got to get off the field on third down for 60 minutes. And yeah, I see these trolls in here. Like I said, we doing block blast today. Yeah, I don't know if y'all ever played block blast. So, like I said, the block button is heavy today. So, hey, y'all want to come with it? Keep on bringing it. But definitely, those are my 3 keys.
I mean, what y'all want, a cookie? Y'all want me to like scream in the air? I mean, like, y'all want a reaction? What's the issue? Y'all ain't get a hug today?
Hey, look, I'm about to say that means if you're getting trolls like that, that means you're doing something good. That's really what it means.
Well, I swear, somebody try to quote unquote handle things and make sure, we do the right thing for everybody. They see that as an opportunity to troll and try to upset people. I guess that's what y'all trying to do. But hey, man, I'm the calm before the storm today. I'm Jew today, man. I don't know why y'all. Y'all think y'all bother me. Look, bro, I move at my own pace.
Look, I about to say, man, I think you trying to dictate this show, boy, you got a whole nother thing coming.
You got a whole nother thing coming.
You already got warned at the beginning. You come with the bullshit, we ain't even going to address it no more. We putting block buttons on everybody. That if you don't know what the block button means, it means timeout. Indefinitely. You get what does it call it? Indefinite timeout.
Indefinite.
Man. So y'all want to go with the other side, or there's any more stories that we want to?
I mean, we're gonna do it for Cartier. Let's do it for Cartier. I think
Cartier in here, man. We're gonna show him some love. You know, he loyal to us, so we gotta show him some love.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to start it off again, KStylzz?
We're gonna let Mike start this one with Tampa.
Okay. I mean, this is the first time I actually hate doing it because there's nothing I don't like nothing about Tom Brady. Like I despise this human being. I just don't like him, and it, like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with. I just hate his stupid smirk. I just hate everything about him. First key to victory for the Bucs. They got to establish the run with. Sorry, Cartier, but I got to do it. I'm not gonna praise Tom Brady. I'm not gonna mention him. I'm just gonna ignore him altogether. So first key to victory, you gotta feed Leonard Fournette. Feed him. Feed him more, because obviously you saw what he did last game against the Colts. They really didn't have it in the passing game, so they leaned on him to pretty much win the game. The defense making a couple of plays here and there. If I'm not mistaken, they may have been a special teams, but yeah, Fournette. So they just got to lean on Fournette and make the Falcons tackle. The Falcons have had up and down issues as far as their tackling is concerned with the linebackers and even in the secondary for the most part. So lean on Fournette. Second one, I got to say the offensive line. I don't know why everybody try to pretend as though the Bucs have a great offensive line. They really don't. The Falcons nearly came back and put a lot of pressure on Tom Brady in the first meeting, and we all know we're not very consistent with our defensive front. So their offensive line better come to play, because the Falcons in these last couple of games under Dean Pease, they've been playing well. They've been playing well. So their offensive line, they had to protect Tom Brady. Third, they can't get cocky. I see a lot of teams getting cocky when they play the Atlanta Falcons. So they just do stupid stuff like going for it on fourth down and, going for two. It's like you're already up. You know what I'm saying? You're already up 2 touchdowns or a touchdown, and you try to do things like going for two. So it's like the coaching, they better not get cocky. We'll just do the right thing. We always say what, under Dan Quinn and Kyle Shanahan doing, crazy things like going for it on fourth down when you're already, you're either tired or you're down. A touchdown. And Dan Quinn and they decide for whatever reason we need to go for it on fourth down. Things like that. So if the coaching is going to play a big problem, I just don't think and Tampa really isn't playing all that well anyway. So coaching is going to be huge for them. So those are 3 keys like that.
And I'll give a shout out to Miss Maggie T and Noah Tyndale. We told you we got the block blast squad on y'all asses, boy. So we give a shout out. They playing Ghostbusters today. So give a shout out to both of them. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with the next one for Tampa Bay. Attacked the offensive line. The third one.
Yeah, like this. This is the type of stuff that they use. Like stuff like this. It's 31. Y'all trying to go deep.
All right, man. Come on. Are you serious? But like I said, the thing is, I can say one thing, man. We saw the first Suki Honda Amber Rose slut walk defensive play all season last week against Jacksonville. At least we just saw only one. But yeah, so Tampa Bay, like I said, I'm bringing the AA gap blitzes. Cause I just said it with the Falcons key. See if that try that offensive line. See where they at. Like I said, you don't have a Calvin Ridley out there, so you don't really have a threat. Kyle Pitts, he's trying to do everything he can. The other wide receivers, Russell Gage, Lamade Zaccheaus, Christian Blake, and Tajay Sharp, they haven't shown the consistency to beat man coverage. I'll blitz and try that offensive line. Try to throw Matt Ryan off his spot. I don't even really have 3 keys. I say I'll give you one more key. Hey, the other key that I have to give for Tampa Bay. I'm about to say, get the ball out of Tom Brady's hand quick. Don't because like I said, if you watch the second half of last game, well, I ain't even gonna say watch the second half. If you watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the last 3 weeks, like I said, they haven't really been playing particularly dominant. Like I said, these defenses is coming after Tom Brady. They coming after this offense right now. So they're going to have to get the ball out of his hand quick, because if they going to try to beat the Falcons deep, Tom Brady going to get hit by
That's what
he going to get hit by 4 times.
Blueprint. They gave him that blueprint with Debo. Debo was all over Tom Brady their first meeting.
Yeah.
That's how they got back into the game. Falcons gave everybody the blueprint. Now you see what happened.
Right. So you gotta goddamn hit them. So you better protect Tom Brady. You better protect Tom Brady in the middle of that line, because if you don't, and he get hit about 5-6 times, that's all I'm just gonna say on that. All right, Jew. We're gonna let the minister be the closer for this.
Minister of defense right here.
The minister of defense. This is the safety right here. Wait a minute. The safety done froze up. Wait a minute. What's going on, Jew?
Wow, really?
God.
Y'all can't.
Y'all won't let him be. Y'all won't let him be great.
In the name of Jesus, I rebuke you, Satan.
We gonna do. Man. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let him. Yeah, I'm about to say, Jew was so ready to give y'all the word that he done froze up, but it's all good. We're gonna wait till Jew get back on here. Exactly. But yeah, so he'll be back on here. So you want to get into some of these comments or something, see what the people talk about?
Yeah, let's get a
few. Hey, I want everybody that's watching, I want to say give us a key. One of your keys as far as how the Falcons need to play. Because I see one coming up here. Rico 312 said the key is tackling. Ooh, you saw one? What you saw?
I see a comment that I like, and
this is gonna be key.
Yeah, it's not so much a key, but it's a comment that I kind of
okay. But I'm gonna give Rico 312 shout out on this. Yeah, tackling is gonna be key. Actually, tackling is gonna be key for the rest of the season.
Right.
Because like what Mike said with the running game, and like with Fournette and Ronald Jones and stuff like that, you're gonna have to tackle these guys. So you have to look at Grady. You're going to have to look at Dante Fowler. They're like, once they get their hands on somebody, they're going to have to wrap up. If they don't wrap up and these guys get these contacts, these yards after contact, it's going to be a long day for the Falcons. But what comment did you have in mind?
I just had, hold on. I hope my computer started. There you go.
Okay, Seek Pope Basie said, it's interesting that Matt Ryan's getting more slander than Russell Wilson, who is 3-8. It's crazy how much grace is given to somebody just because. I mean, that's going to be the reality. That's the reality of how it goes. I mean, Super Bowl is pretty much when you actually look at how certain people think, it's actually a get out of jail free card. But like I said, at this point, hey, we just gonna let it all play out, because the thing about it is, the more the Falcons win, the more it pisses people off.
You got that right.
And it makes me laugh. All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me work my magic. I gotta work my magic.
Man, Tom Brady came in the room, dog. He hacked my computer.
They done hacked it, boy.
Boy, they done shot them cannons off on your goddamn stream.
Boy, we thought the Flake Gate was something.
But yeah, Jew. Okay, so yeah, we did was just read up. We just read a couple comments and stuff. So we gotta let the minister bless us with his Tampa keys to victory against the Falcons.
All right. So the first key for Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game, you tackled it, KStylzz, where you talked about them blitzing. Like in this game, they're going to have to bring the blitz, the double A gap blitzes, because last game our offensive line really struggled against it. Like you said, we don't have the man beaters right now as far as Calvin Ridley beating man coverage. We really don't have those wide receivers. Our receivers are smaller receivers. They're not physical. So in this game, if I'm Tampa, I'm playing press man and I'm blitzing. I'm just blitzing until they can stop it, till they can prove that they can stop it. I'm blitzing. If I'm Todd Bowles, because we see early in the game, last game, they kind of took the Falcons lightly early in the game, as far as he didn't really blitz until the fourth quarter. But in this game, I think you start from the first quarter. Like you just bring the blitz, especially because I don't know if they're going to do what they did last week as far as Hennessy and Dahlman, like rotating those guys. But if you do that, we know, chemistry is everything for the offensive line and making the calls and stuff like that. So I'm bringing pressure. Devin White loves the blitz. Levante David, those linebackers, they're similar to our linebackers. They're pretty fast and flow sideline to sideline. So I'm bringing pressure because we know Matt Ryan is mobile, but he's not that fleet of foot to run away from the athletes that they have. They have some real athletes at linebacker. So I'm bringing the pressure. The second key to victory in this game is get out to a lead like they did in the last game. In this game, I talk about it all the time. One thing about this Falcons team, and you guys know I love my Falcons, and we analyze the Falcons on a daily basis, so I know how to beat my own team. What you do is just get out to a lead, because this is not a team right now that can come back from a big deficit. Like our offense is just not making the big plays right now, like down the field. So if you fall behind like we did against Dallas, that's why we struggled in that game. If you get down big, this is not a Falcons team that's going to be able to come back. This team has to win one way, one style on offense, and that's keeping the game close. And that's why you keep hearing Arthur Smith say all the time, he keeps talking about not getting predictable, like not falling behind where you have to pass the football, because that puts a lot of pressure on our young offensive line, and that puts a lot of pressure on these receivers that are not really getting open. As Mike's been saying all season, we've watched it. These guys are not consistently getting open. We've seen that against New England. We had receivers running into each other. Like, guys are not getting open, period. Guys are just not getting open. So in this game, if I'm Todd Bowles, I'm bringing the pressure, and I'm getting out to a big lead in this game if I'm the offense. If I'm the offense, you got to get out to a 14-point lead, 21-point lead. If you get out to multiple possessions, we're in trouble. Mike,
Bruh.
How you gonna run into each other?
Yeah, man. Look, you can't get open and then you run it into each other. Yeah, man.
No. What'd you say? Hey, look, what'd you say? The only time you got open is when you ran into each other.
When you ran the wrong route. That's the only time you got open. That's probably why they got open, because they ran. Look, the defense knew that they were running the wrong route. They didn't even chase them. They just let them run into each other.
Hey, I'm about to say, I'm sorry, but that thing looked like one of them early morning cartoons.
Exactly,
bro.
It looked like Wile E. Coyote ran into a wall. It was like,
I said, when I saw that, I just like, I gave up. I was like, yeah, I give up on it. Once I saw that, that's when I gave up on the game. I said, yeah, we definitely not winning this game. They really ran into each other, like switch.
Oh man. Hey man, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all make sure y'all share this. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe.
Oh man, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Everybody, man. If you're new to the channel, please do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button. You don't have to hit the button at YouTube, the subscribe button. I want to explain this. The subscribe button you can hit for all the notifications, or you can kind of do the important ones. Like, you have an option if you don't want to get all the notifications and everything that we do. It's like they have different options. If you kind of get annoyed by every last one of them, you can kind of choose which one you want. But please hit that subscribe button. Trust me, man, it really helps. It really helps, man.
Well, go ahead, Jew, man. I'm sorry, man. I just thought about Wile E. Coyote, and I just when I saw that, I said,
when they run into that brick, when he always runs to the brick, you see the implant in the brick.
Cause when you watch it, he was like this. He be like this.
All right, we just took a whole level, man.
My bad. Go ahead, Jew. Go ahead, Jew.
Now, y'all good. I just had one more key to victory. I think that was two keys to victory. So the first one, like I said, bring pressure, like KStylzz said. Number two, get out to a big lead, because this Falcons team is not built to come back. Like we seen in the last game, they did come back, but that's because we still had Calvin Ridley. We had all of our pieces. We had Hayden Hurst. We had Kyle Pitts. So we were actually making explosive plays. That was week 2. But now with all of these guys out on injury, the only guy you really have out there that's a big playmaker is Kyle Pitts and CP. So you can kind of key in on those guys. So if you get out to a big lead, it's going to be hard for this team to come back, because they're not built to come back from a huge lead. And then the last key to victory for Tampa Bay, Mike talked about it, is just respect your opponent. Play the Falcons like they're the Chiefs. Play the Falcons like they're because really the Falcons, for one, this is a division matchup, and we know that you throw records out the window for division matchups anyway. But just respect your opponent. I say week in and week out that it's any given Sunday. And one thing that the Bucs know, they'll try to play it off, but they really know that the Falcons played them tough that first matchup. Even though the score ended up being 40-something, 44-21 or something like that, they know that game was a lot closer than the score appeared. So in this game, respect your opponent. Like, come out and put your foot on the Falcons' neck. As I always talk about, if you're the better team, you never want to let another team hang around, the lesser team, the underdog. If you let the underdog hang around, they start to believe. And we know that's what Arthur Smith, they had it posted on the wall in the Atlanta Falcons at Flowery Branch, that believe on the wall that they be touching. So you don't want to give the Falcons any hope or any faith that they got a chance to win this game. You want to come out early and just say that y'all not on the, y'all not on our class. We're on another level. It's levels to this, and we're the defending champs. And you just want to put your foot on their throat. Don't give the Falcons a chance, and don't give them any life to think that they don't want them to believe anything. Want them to believe that y'all better than us. Y'all on another level. So in this game, come out and just put your foot on their throat. Because if you let the game, be close in the waning moments, that's when the momentum, can swing. That's when fluky plays happen. Like we remember in the Super Bowl, David Tyree, which that was probably the only big catch he made in his whole career, but it was, they was in the game, and that was just one lucky play. But like sometimes, what they say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So in this game, you don't want to give the Falcons a chance to make a lucky play. In this game, you don't want Tajay Sharp or somebody that has no business making a play against you in the waning moment. So in this game, you want to put your foot on the Falcons' throat. Don't give us any hope, because if you give us hope, that's a chance for you to lose, especially with Matt Ryan. We know that he's good. They call him Matty Ice for a reason. When the game is on the line, he's lethal. So in this game, you want to be out on it, have a big lead.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. How did we forget this key for Tampa Bay? Mike, how do we forget this key? If Tyler Davidson is on the field, run at his ass. That's the
I conveniently try to ignore that. That's why.
Mike, tell him Mike addressed that. When Mike was saying Leonard Fournette run, he was talking about Tyler Davidson. He just didn't want to throw his name out there.
Run.
But
Hey,
shout out to Smitty, but he said, should the Falcons be able to run against the Buccaneers with their secondary injuries?
Honestly,
I say yes. Run at them. The reason I say yes is because it's just what you guys were saying. KStylzz and Mike, one of you guys said, I think it was Mike in his keys to victory, he talked about don't start getting stupid. Like, I feel like sometimes you overthink things. Like, we're a running football team, so don't come out here throwing the ball all across the yard. Now, on first down, don't be predictable either. I don't mind you play action pass on first down just to kind of keep them off balance, so you're just not running on first, running on second, throwing on third. You have to mix and match it. But I feel like you can't come out here like going spread 4 wide receivers like we used to see Sark do. I mean, not Sark, but Farmer Friend. You can't do what we did last year, because that feeds right into the physicality of the Bucs. Like, you have to be physical with a physical defense. You can't say, well, we're just going to drop back and try to beat them. And we've seen that in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They tried it, and the Chiefs are better at spreading out than we are. Let's be real. So if they couldn't do it, we're not going to be able to do it consistently. So I think you got to run the ball because, for one, they're a physical team. For two, we know that this offensive line is still young, and you don't want these guys backpedaling the whole game, because that defensive line, man, JPP, Shaq Barrett, they feed on that. Like, they're like sharks and piranhas in water. If they smell blood, it's over. So I feel like you got to run the ball in this game. You got to bloody their nose before they bloody yours. So in this game, we got to throw the first punch. Like, we can't be, when you start passing the ball, you're not throwing the first punch. You backpedaling and they throwing punches. And we don't want to be, we are not Floyd Mayweather. We can't dodge a bunch of punches. We got to go in there like Buster Douglas and hope that we knock the champ out. We got to come out swinging, dog. That's the bottom line. We got to throw haymakers and hope we connect. So we don't, we in trouble.
I saw one interesting thing, though. I saw one interesting with the Falcons and the pass and attack. I don't know if you guys paid attention to it, but what I saw was a lot of, reading the secondary. What their plays, if they were playing off the Falcons, you saw Matt Ryan take those easy short passes. It's like, if you're going to give us those 5 yards, like, especially with our offense and especially with the receivers struggling, even if it's 5 yards, you got to get these guys some confidence somehow, because these guys, I'm telling you right now, doing some film study on them, they are really tiptoeing. They're afraid to get touched. They're not used to being pressed as much as they've been pressed this year, and they're just afraid. So if it's 5 yards to get OZ, gauge these guys some confidence. And like I said, once these guys start No, they're NFL players. Once they start getting confidence, man, anything, it's hard to stop a guy when he has confidence. Like it could be, the third or fourth string running back. We see that with Gore with the Chiefs right now. That dude came out of absolutely nowhere. Now he has a gang of confidence right now. I think he was like a practice squad player, and they brought him up, and he's been going ever since. So it's like at this moment, I see the Falcons. I wouldn't necessarily say so much running at them, but if they're going to give you 5 yards, you got to take those 5 yards, and that's going to loosen up the coverage on Kyle Pitts, because if Kyle Pitts get any opportunity to go even, one-on-one for a split second, more than likely he's going to win. So that's what they need. I saw a lot of Falcons taking those opportunities when they play off covers.
And one other thing I want to say, Mike, from what you were just saying, and I've been noticing this the last couple weeks, maybe the whole season, I think we have to double move them corners, because a lot of corners this year, because of the style that we're playing, I feel like we need to use a double move, because a lot of teams are sitting on the routes. Like we seen in that first game against the Bucs, once they did start blitzing and they seen that our offensive line wasn't holding up, it just opened up the floodgates. They were getting in the throwing lanes, and basically their whole defensive line was just jumping up, batting passes, and their safeties just kept creeping down further and further down in the box. You have to somebody has to go deep. Even if it's Kyle Pitts, act like you're going to do an out route, and just go up the field. And let Matt Ryan, I know people think that Matt Ryan can't throw the deep ball. Matt Ryan can throw the deep ball. Let him throw the deep ball, because we need to back those guys up, back those corners up, and just make them think that there's a threat that somebody's going to go deep. Because right now I think that our receivers are very predictable in the point of we're not throwing a deep ball. Like if you look at last game, we didn't even throw a deep ball. I feel like we just need to, in this game, just even if you don't catch it, just let Matt Ryan air it out and throw it out there, so that they'll back up a little bit, and they'll second guess. Like I can't just jump every slant route, because they might go, they might throw it over my head. You just want to have that in the back of the safeties and the corners' minds, because I feel like right now these corners and safeties are kind of suffocating these smaller receivers, because we're not running any deep routes. Everything is like 15 yards and in. So when you have no threat of the deep ball, these safeties are going to just keep creeping down. They're not going to worry about the deep ball. Even these corners, they're not worried about Matt Ryan throwing that deep ball. So I will let Matt Ryan do it. Like let Oz can go deep. Let Oz go deep. He's small, but look, you might draw a flag. Let these guys go deep.
That's what I saw you in my film study. They're getting, for the most part, that's why I say when you get those opportunities, go deep. But for the most part, they're jamming these receivers right off the bat. They're not even giving them an opportunity to go. So you're going to get that opportunity. When you get that opportunity, Matt has to see that, Arthur has to see it, and attack it immediately. But they're not giving these receivers any room. And OZ, I love him to death, but that dude is so terrible getting off the line. It's bad. So you need bigger bodies, and that's another thing that's the Falcons are struggling. They just don't have big bodies, especially with Hayden Hurst gone. He don't have those guys. You don't have a big body to kind of help those guys get, not get hits as much. Because like when you see Hayden Hurst in the game, you're not going to let him get a free release. You're going to put hands on him.
Right. Hey, y'all brought up an interesting point, and it just made me think about something. Do you think the lack of threat of outside weapons also play a key into the fact that the running game is inconsistent?
I believe so. I think this is why I'm absolutely pissed off with Calvin. Like I'm just gonna be real. I'm not trying to say that he had, but at the end of the day, look, get help. But at the same time, you still a football player. You feel me? And you knew that you were a football player. You didn't just wake up and say, I'm not a football player. You knew you were a football player. So if you knew from the very beginning, this is, again, I said a long time ago, this is being an adult. if you know you weren't ready, you know when you are going through something. Say it. These guys chose you to be a leader. They didn't choose you to, be one of those guys that, they're not gonna lean on. So they depending on this guy. And him not being or having that, him not being on the field. Like we saw the touchdown. This is one that I kind of looked at last week. It was a touchdown to Russell Gage. And a lot of people didn't see it, but when you they had Russell Gage, they had Kyle Pitts in a kind of a flex tight end position, and Russell Gage was on the side. So all they did was he ran a clear out post, and Russell Gage just snuck right in behind him for the easy, wide open touchdown. These are the things that, guys like Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, they create mismatches for these guys. So it's not so much that, these guys aren't good enough. They're not good enough one-on-one. Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley are the guys that you pay the big-time money to win those one-on-ones. And when they're not there, that's when you see OZ suffering. That's where you see Russell Gage suffering. These guys are not one-on-one receivers. They're backups for a reason. And that's the reason why I and a lot of people are just really upset, because this team needs you. They need you. Make no mistake about it. They need you.
Man, because I just think that, like you said, like you were saying about that flexed out, they stacked them. This just gonna be one of those cases where he's gonna have to look and start using more of those bunch formations to try to create something.
Yeah.
Or this just be one of those cases where I know a lot of people talk about Frank Darby, and I know some people here looking like, I don't know, or him, and then like this. Do you think this is just one of those chances where you just need to see him out there to see what he could do, period? Because for what we see right now with a lot of the guys that are out there, like with the Tajay Sharps and the Alameda Zacchaeus, Christian Blake, I haven't seen him in about 3 or 4 games. Is it just about time just to put him out there just to see what he can do? Because the guys that you have out there right now are not showing you anything. Because right now, if you look at the number wise and stuff like that, like Juice said, it's Kyle Pitts, it's Cordero Patterson. Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson. That's almost 1,100 yards in receiving right there. Well, yeah, about 1,100 right there. And then when you add the other 3 receivers that's going on to it, you're looking at about 400 yards of receiving.
Yeah, I'm putting Frank Darby out there, KStylzz, just to answer your question. I don't know if it was rhetorical, but I'm putting Frank Darby out there because he's physical. Like, if you go look at his college tape, he's not afraid to go across the middle. Like, he's the exact opposite of what Calvin Ridley is. Like, he's that guy. He's not as big, like as I'm looking for, as far as like, he's not 6'3", 6'2", like we talked about the Muhammad Sanu. He's like 6 feet, 6'1", but he has the mentality that he's not afraid. So I will put him out there. And to me, he also gives me kind of Cordell Patterson vibes about he just loves to play the game of football. Like, if you go and listen to those guys talk about CP after the game last week, Keith Smith, he was just like, CP is just electric. He's out there talking trash. He's out there having fun. Because like when you watch these guys play, you can see which players enjoy actually playing the game. When you watch Cordell Patterson, he's out there having fun. Like, I want to see these guys out there having fun. Yeah, it's about winning. But when you're out there between those lines competing, you can see the guys that really love the game and those guys that are just out there collecting the paycheck. And that's what Mike was talking about with Calvin Ridley. Like, go out there and play for the love of the game. And you can see that Cordell Patterson, every time he steps out on that football field, he's giving us everything he got. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said last week after the game that Cordero Patterson is a leader on this team. I don't care what the coaches voted. I don't care what the players voted. Yeah, they may have made Calvin Ridley a leader, but you can tell who the leaders are by listening to the players talk after the game about the players.
Yeah.
When Cordero Patterson's out there on that field with that offense, everybody wants to raise their game to another level because they believe when Cordero Patterson's out there, he's finna make a play. It was just like when Julio was on this team. He's kind of taking that mantle that Julio left of he's the new playmaker. He's the X factor. They know when Cordero Patterson touched the ball, he finna make a play. He finna score a touchdown. So you've seen everybody. You could just look at them from the game that he was out against New England and the rest of the game against the Cowboys. You could see how the players, they look different. The way that they play, like everybody just played with more juice. Like Cordell Patterson is just that dude. He the X factor. He's a leader. Dudes feed off of that. When Ray Lewis was on that field, everybody knew, like, I better raise my game. Like, you didn't want to make a mistake because you're like, oh man, he gonna hold me accountable. And that's what we're seeing with a guy like Cordell Patterson. So I definitely think we should put Frank Darby out there. We should put him out there and see what we got, because what's the worst that can happen? I mean, we already seen guys running into each other. We just talked about it. We got guys running the road out and literally running into each other. What can he put on tape that's worse than that? And we did that on national TV on Thursday Night Football when everybody was watching. So, I mean, you can't embarrass yourself no worse than that. So, I mean, throw him out there and see what he can do, dog. I mean, he can't do no worse than that.
Boy.
I've never seen Troy Aikman that pissed since his days of actually playing. I've never seen him that pissed. He was really pissed.
Boy, that boy turned into a raspberry on live TV. That's how bad he was.
I don't understand what these guys can't get open. They can't protect the quarterback. Like he was heated, bro. So like I said, I've always loved. I don't know what's going on. Y'all just done turned AFN into.
That's what I was laughing at. Like, what? We got Asia and Trammell over here confessing love to each other. Oh, I'm like, Lord, hey, look, give him a round of applause, man. Everybody give him a round of applause.
That's my drink now. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
See, but like I said, this is what AFN is about. It's about people having fun. It's everybody showing love to each other, man. So when you got people coming in here trying to troll, like I said, we ain't finna worry about that no more. Like I said, we got the block, we got the Ghostbusters waiting on that ass. The Ghostbusters, they're like, Ghostbusters. Oh yeah, we blocking folks now. Exactly, man. It's all about love, man. But yeah, man.
Well,
yeah, but yeah, Frank Darby, like I said, I'll throw him out there like, fuck it. Hey, like you said, you literally had your number 1 and number 2 receiver on live TV run into each other the only time they got open.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on, I want to hit this. He said, do you guys think the team made Ridley captain to help us captain? No, they made him captain because he was supposed to take the Julio mantle and go to that next level. He had nothing to do with his confidence because he had the confidence going after training camp. Like I said, really, because like I said, and as far as the mental health issues and stuff, like I said, we don't play about the mental health issues. But if you take that out and look at the situation for what it is, it just came at a bad time. And it came in a bad year. So now, like I said, Captain was because remember, that was one of the first things Arthur Smith said when he got hired. He was looking at Calvin Ridley as being a leader for this team. That's why they made him a captain. And that's what you're supposed to be as a captain. Is you're supposed to lead by example. You're the guy that these players are looking at and being like, okay, he's gonna be the leader of our team.
Yeah, I think though what you're saying, KStylzz, I agree with you, but I think this is one of the only times I probably will say something negative about Arthur Smith and the coaching staff. I think that was a mistake that they made, and I talked about this in our private chat where we have when we in our Atlanta Falcons Nation group.
Yep.
You can't really make somebody a leader, and I think sometimes what coaches do, they make the mistake of they think that the best players on the team are going to be the leaders, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes your leader is not the best player on the team. That's just how it is. If you think about Allen Iverson, when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers, a lot of people on that team say Eric Snow was the leader. And it's like, Allen Iverson was the best player, hands down. Like that, he should have ran that locker room, but he wasn't the leader of the team. He was one of the leaders, but they said that the leader of the team was Eric Snow. So I feel like sometimes your best players, because if you guys remember the initial press conference that Arthur Smith had when he first came here, he's like, I'm going to make my best players accountable. Grady Jarrett, Calvin Ridley. Sometimes your best players, that's the best players on the field, are not your leaders. And I think that's one of the mistakes that this coaching staff made. And that's why I was talking about with CP. Like, the players in that locker room really decide who the leaders are. And CP was one of those guys where because of his performance out there on the field, he carries himself like a leader. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about what we think, you know, who the leader is. Trust me, if you're a leader, people are just going to follow you naturally. And to me, naturally, people just follow Matt Ryan. They just follow CP in that locker room. That's just how it is. So I don't care. And that's why I always say I don't care about those C's that they put on the jersey. I don't know if you guys noticed that none of the Falcon players this year got that C on the patch. That patch doesn't mean anything. Like, I know players, I've seen players out on the football field that don't have one of those patches, but you can watch the team play and says, that's one of the leaders of that team, or that's the leader of that team. So to me, for this team, Matt Ryan, CP, those are the leaders of the Atlanta Falcons franchise right now. Deion Jones, Grady Jarrett, those guys are the leaders. To me, I don't care, you know, what they said about CP, because Calvin Ridley, him leaving the team shows that he's not a captain of this team. Him leaving the team like that, like what Mike was talking about, as a leader, you understand. I know he might be going through, and we take mental health serious. Like, I take it very seriously. But Mike is right when he was saying Calvin Ridley knew dang well when he went into the whole situation that he should have told when they made him a captain, I don't want to be a captain, or I'm not ready for that mantle yet. You know what I'm saying? He knew he wasn't prepared to fill those shoes that mantle they were trying to place on him. So I kind of feel like it was kind of forced on Calvin Ridley. He didn't say that he necessarily wanted to be the leader. I feel like the coaches, they stated, you know, he's the best wide receiver. He's taking over the Julio Jones mantle, but everybody doesn't lead the same way, and everybody is not a leader. And to me, Calvin Ridley, even when Julio was here, he always followed Julio, but he never, to me, was a leader. I never, you know, when I watch Calvin Ridley, he doesn't strike me as a leader. That's just me personally. I don't know about you guys, but even when Julio was here, to me, he followed behind Julio. I never seen him like trying to compete with Julio to be one of the leaders. That's just me personally.
Look, I'm trying to be the best. Look, I'm not like, I've always heard Julio say he want to be the best. I've never really heard Calvin Ridley say that he want to be the best. I'm just trying to get better every day. Look, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm trying to take over all of Georgia sports. I'm just going to be real. Y'all heard me say that plenty of times. Y'all heard me say that plenty of times. That's what you should be aiming for. So if you don't hear your players, especially Matt Ryan, look, Matt Ryan say he want to be the best. I'm just trying to be the best. I want to win. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we win. When you talk about Calvin Ridley, like, honestly, I'm just going to be real. I don't know what the hell his personality is. I don't know what his personality. I don't know if he's a goofy guy. I don't know if he's an angry guy. I don't know if he's a sad guy, because it's just robotic. Everything about him is robotic. Nobody can tell you that if he likes to play Madden, if he likes to play GTA, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows nothing, because it's just like, hey man, I'm just coming here today to work, and you know, I'm Calvin Ridley and I'm the 18. Like, that's what you're getting from him. That's what we've got for him for the last 3 years. Nobody see him. The only time you really see him goofing around It's at practice. And every once in a while in practice. That's really it. And even that's like you don't see that a lot. Let's just keep it real.
Man, we got a couple comments in here. I want to hit this. We was like, let's keep it real. Calvin quit on us like Julio. This was his time to shine like CP. I mean, like I said, that's why we said it. It was like as soon as Julio left, Calvin left. Mentally.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
That's why I said the timing was bad. The timing, it just don't look right. Because even if y'all haven't checked out the Lions Den debate last night, that's kind of what they were talking about with Calvin Ridley. Like the dude said about Calvin Ridley being a second team All-Pro. But it's the same thing we could say about when you had Peerless Price in Buffalo, where you had the number one guy and then you had the number two guy benefited from that. And because Julio was out and nobody really knew Calvin like that, he had those 100-yard games at the end of last season. So we banked off of that. But like, okay, yeah, we're gonna put that C on him because he's ready to take that next step without Julio. But Julio was like big brother. Julio was uncle to him and stuff like that. And him and Julio not being here, I think the closer it got to the season, the more it took a toll on because he ain't got nobody. Like I said, he ain't got nobody to turn to. Now he's the big brother. Honestly, he just wasn't ready for that responsibility. And like you said, if that was something that he didn't want, that's what you let the coaches know. But okay, this is not my role. I'm a secondary player. Listen, I can't be a captain. I can't be a leader on here. I just want to do my job and go home.
Exactly. That's what he should have did. And he might have not have known at the time. That's why I placed the blame on Arthur Smith. Because personally, if I was a coach, and I'm not a coach, but if I was a coach, what I think you should do to find out who your real leaders are, before the season starts, don't announce no captains. Go into the season and watch the guys play. And you're going to see who the players follow in the locker room. You're going to see who's that fire starter out there on the football field. Because between those white lines, that's really where you find out who your real leaders are. And that's why I said CP's the leader. Because as soon as he gets in the game, everybody perks up. We seen on Sunday, we like a whole different team when CP's out there.
They just gravitate toward him. He just got that. He's just that guy.
Exactly. So sometimes you just got it. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. It was just like Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. Everybody knew when you had Michael the Mic, it was different. It was just different. Jermaine could sing, Jackie could sing, but if you had Michael the Mic, it was
Exactly. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the bouquet.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you got it, you got it. Hey, when you got it, you got it. And like I said, CP just got it. Calvin really was not ready for that position. And like you said, we kind of, because Julio's not here, he kind of scapegoated Calvin Ridley and scapegoated the team. Because really, as big brother, you're supposed to do everything in your power to make sure the guys that are here are ready for that mantle. Because I feel like Julio kind of blindsided everybody. Like, what we haven't thought about is, did he even call Calvin Ridley and say, man, I'm out? Or did he just hear it like everybody else heard it on Undisputed, like I'm out of there? You know what I'm saying? That could take a mental toll on you too, because it's like almost being abandoned by a parent. Like you were talking about KStylzz.
I thought we were brothers. You know what I'm saying? You just left me like that. So like I said, I get it. I totally understand it.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, Calvin got to be his own man at the end of the day. We can't blame Julio for what Calvin, did. I'll say like this. I'm just praying for the guy. I wish him nothing but the best. Because like I said, we really don't know. We're speculating. We don't know what really happened. But I'm just saying from what I'm viewing, when I'm viewing the team, I don't see Calvin Ridley as a leader on this team. Point blank in the period. I just don't see him as a leader. You can say what you want. You can be a great player, but being a great player doesn't make you a leader.
Right.
That makes you a great player.
And D-Rob here, I saw this comment. I said I had to get a shout out on this one. He said Calvin said he was ready in the preseason when they announced the captains of the team. He was real confident until the regular season hit.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, man, it's just, but at the same time, it's kind of, and I look at it like this, it's kind of a blessing in disguise as well, even with the Julio thing as well, because with Julio gone, see now you take the Julio excuse for the team out the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing. Calvin Ridley's gone. Well, Julio being gone already, you've already seen the deficiencies of everybody, including Calvin Ridley. And I think that's really where the mental break was, is because Julio not being there, it hurt Calvin's game. Because, like I said, he couldn't hide behind Julio no more. You're front and center now. And that's where the pressure of it came, because when you're dropping ball, like and this is the one thing about wide receivers. When you see wide receivers dropping balls at the rate that he was doing, especially when them hitting in the chest, that's all up here. That ain't got nothing to do with the skill. That's up here. But yeah, like I said, honestly, I think this is the last time you're gonna see Cal. I think that game before London was the last time you seen Calvin Ridley in a Falcons uniform, because the coach is about tired of answering the same damn question.
Out of answering it, and like I said, that was really similar to, and like I said, that was just similar. It was his temperament was a lot similar to how he was reacting to Julio Jones. It was like, don't quote me on that, but I saw that before. And when coaches, especially coaches, they end up saying things with authority. They really teed off about something, and there's a lot of I would more so say resentment and probably disappointment and what, because like I said, this is football, and I want to make it clear this has nothing to do with whether or not we believe him and his mental health. This is football. We've seen guys play the entire season and then turn around, and go get help after the season. It's about doing things the right way. It's not about him getting help. Because, again, these guys counted on him. They depended on him. And now they can't trust him. That's what coaches got to be able to trust you. If they can't trust you to do the right thing for the team first, because that's what football is all about, putting the team first. You got to put the team first. And even if you have to, get yourself some help. Look, all right, this is how I'm feeling, bam, bam, bam. And I'm going to put you in a better position so you can kind of bring in a guy to fill in my role until I get back. He didn't give them that option. That's what people got to understand. He did not lead them with any option whatsoever. They could have, if he felt some type of way, they could have ended up trading him, before the season. We could have traded him before the trade deadline. He never gave them that option to do that. And I think that's where coaches and teams are really upset about. You didn't give him an option to take care of the team, to be honest.
Right. And Ricondo here said pressure bust pipes.
Yeah.
Boy,
I mean,
that's ain't true.
I mean, like we said, and I'll go back to this. Go ahead and get the
we gotta get the $4.99 super chat. Gene Batten, holla holla holla. He said, "What's up, fellas? How y'all doing tonight, man? Hey, we doing the show. We good, man. I appreciate you
Gene,
coming on."
My bad, Gene. We did receive your super chat yesterday. I just wanted to say that we weren't trying to ignore you. It was last night on AFN. That debate was just that was something else. So it was hard for me to stop them there once they were going. So I apologize. I didn't mean to not to speak on it, but it was hard. If you guys saw it, it was hard to kind of interrupt those guys that night. So I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but we did see it. I apologize for that, and we do. I promise you, I'll do better with that.
Right. Channel Key said, "I think he's telling the truth because it's only gonna hurt his stock if he's faking. In reality, it's gonna hurt his stock either way. To be honest,
either way, yeah."
It might not hurt. It might, like I said, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a bit with him telling the truth. But if he's faking, you can kiss that stock goodbye.
Yeah, I think it is going to affect either way you look at it, because that's what Mike was talking about. I read an article today, and I like to cite my sources, but I can't remember the article I read. I don't know if it was the AJC. It was something talking about Calvin Ridley, but what it was saying is maybe the contracts that these NFL, like the NFLPA and stuff like that, the contracts, they may make some adjustments to the contracts, because Calvin Ridley is not the only football player, of course, that's having like these mental issues. And they talked about Everson Griffin for the Vikings, and they also talked about the offensive lineman for the Eagles, Lane Johnson. They gave him a couple weeks off because he said that he was having some mental health problems or whatever like that. So they gave him a couple weeks off. He missed I think about three games or something like that. So they're saying that we may see some adjustments being made to the salary cap, and also some adjustments being made for players like this in this situation, because they talked about the Falcons have already picked up his 5th-year option, and next year he's due to make $11 million. And we've already basically signed off on him getting his 5th-year option. So they were saying maybe the NFL looks at, since these players are now dealing with these mental health issues, when they take breaks, either they can take that money off the books so the Falcons can go out and sign another wide receiver like Mike was talking about, or bring in another player until that player comes back. So really, like KStylzz was saying, this is a blessing in disguise, because what we're going to start seeing is these contracts change. Watch what I say. All of these guaranteed, like the guaranteed money and stuff like that, there's going to be clauses like y'all were talking about a couple weeks ago with the Taysom Hill deal, where if you play these many snaps and stuff like that, you're going to start seeing in these contracts where if you have a mental health issue, if you miss this game, we're going to take your game check. Like you're going to see some type of clause in there where you're not going to get all of your money guaranteed if you're not out there playing. I mean, that's just life. That's in a real, if I call off work and I say I'm having mental issues, in most jobs, you're not going to get paid. That's just that's the real world. So really, that's what's going to end up happening. We're going to see some type of adjustment being made, especially now that you're seeing more and more players coming out and saying that they're having these mental health issues. So at the end of the day, like we said, we wish them nothing but the best for all of these players that are going through mental health issues. But at the end of the day, there's still a job to be done as well. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. And we got a couple super chats here. We got Jay Batten with another $4.99. Holla, holla, holla. $4.99. He said, no apologies needed, Mike. He said, y'all was dealing with some shit last night.
Yeah.
And I came in at the last second. Yeah. Only thing you say is the dude said Julio deserved to take the money that he took, but he said he don't want nobody taking no money from him. That's all you need to know.
Come on, man.
The improvement said go Falcons. Hey, man, definitely. But yeah, I'm just looking at this depth chart, and like I said, it's gonna be interesting on how they do this Cordero Patterson thing, because if they pull off, because like I said, and this is what we were talking about, like you said, with the Taysom Hill contract. Yeah, they got Cordero Patterson listed as the third safety, third string safety. I like, man, this boy gonna have so many damn jobs, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna put a lot of incentives in his contract.
Boy. He gonna get that hybrid deal. I don't know how much though. But the difference with this hybrid deal is this guy's actually somewhat of he plays a lot of.
He's a playmaker, man.
Exactly. But
I like it. I just don't like it for Taysom Hill because he fucking sucks. I don't know why that dude even get that type of deal to begin with, but I'm not the Saints, and I'm not a Saints fan, so I don't really care.
Right. But yeah, man, man. You got, like you said, reality is, you can say that we're not you can say that we're not apologists for what we say about Calvin, but the reality of it is these players, at the rate that this is going, like you said, them incentives come in, these players might actually tend to lose a lot of money because of this. And this is, and like I said, and this is why I said Kyle Pitts was the ultimate insurance policy. And I've been saying it since the draft. He's the ultimate insurance policy. And now you're seeing it, because like I said, now the Falcons don't have not only their number one receiver no more, their number two is gone. So think about what happens if you don't have a Kyle Pitts out there and you just relying just on Cordero Patterson.
Oh Lord.
You saw Dalvin Cook go down with an injury. You saw Christian McCaffrey go down with an injury.
CD Lamb is out with like a concussion or something for like the second straight game or something like that.
Right. So you at least have somebody out there that can do something.
Right.
Just think, just I'm gonna just ask the people in the chat. If Kyle Pitts wasn't on this team offensively, how worse would this offense look with the running game that is going and no targets?
I'm gonna just tell you, I'll probably be sitting outside of Julio's apartment because he started all this mess. Look, bro, Julio called us. He really. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I don't think it's gonna take a long time for them to get over Julio, because he really put this organization in a position. And like I said, it's not all Thomas Dimitroff. Like, yeah, he did bad, but what Julio did really hurt this, because they could have used that $60 million to bring in, a guy like Davante Adams. They could have gave that money to somebody else. But no, we trusted, we believed in what Julio said, that he wanted to be here. And then not even a whole year later, he won't gone. Like, that's why I say that. And I know people love Julio. They think he's an angel. But that right there that's a deceitful type of, and that there's no way, there's no way around that. If you have no intentions on being with this team and you don't have the confidence in the team to do right, don't take their money and then say, all right, I got my money, I'm gone. That's just not right, bro. At the end of the day, it's not right. Even if a billionaire did such and such and such and such wrong, it's still not right to take somebody's money and essentially steal them. Like, he stole money. It was deceitful. It was a deceitful tactic. And I'm gonna just say this: I'm a believer in karma. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just a believer in karma. You get what you get with the energy that you put out, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I mean, if you look at Julio in Tennessee right now, hell, dude really ain't played a game in like 6 weeks. Brian Cruz came with a $4.99 super chat. Holla, holla, holla. He said, should Arthur Smith give Frank Darby a chance because our wide receivers are not getting open versus Chad? By the way, hope y'all having a great night. Yeah, we having a good night. We've already discussed. Yes, throw Frank Darby out there. What's the worst that can happen? He can't get open either.
Yeah, put him out there. Like I said, if you go look at his college tape, one thing that I can say about Frank Darby, when I watched his college tape, and this might scare y'all because I didn't see a lot of separation when we drafted him. Like if you go look at his college tape, but one thing that I did like about Frank Darby is he made a lot of contested catches. Like he did a good job of adjusting to the deep ball and making catches contested because he's not the fastest guy. So if you go look at his highlights, like his highlight reel, most of his highlight reel is him making catches over top of people hanging on him. He's still catching the ball. And that's what we're missing. Like we know Zacchaeus ain't going to catch the ball when somebody draped on him. He's just too small. Like we seen him try to run that slant on Sunday and pretty much just dropped the ball. Like he's not physical. He's just not a big physical wide receiver. So Frank Darby, he's a more physical wide receiver, and he's another guy that you can throw the ball deep to, and he can make the adjustment to the football. So I'll put him out there and see what he can do. Like I said, what's the worst that can happen? We've seen guys running into each other. Hey, put him out there.
Shoot, hold on. Before you say that, I'm about to say, at this rate right now, and I know I joked about it, about Dirk Cutter and using Keith Smith on the outside last year, but right now, the way that these wide receivers is getting open, I'd rather have Keith Smith at wide receiver right now.
They're not getting open at all. I just like I said, it's not. They just look like they have no confidence in themselves, none whatsoever. That's what I'm seeing when they run routes. I see them tippy-toeing, patting like you're not running your routes with authority. I'm not seeing any of that. But let me get to this comment. Rich McKay needs to go. My thing is like I'll give you a second to answer this question. Just tell me why he needs to go, because I'm not understanding why he needs to go. Because from what I've seen, this guy's responsible for not only Michael Vick and what Michael Vick brought to this organization, building around them, bringing guys in like Johnny Abraham to help the Falcons kind of, build that DVD, that DVD and expand on that, bringing in guys like Roddy White, re-signing, signing guys like Rod Coleman. It's like he's responsible for a lot of these guys that we love to this day. And to be honest, like when you look at his resume in itself, I mean, it speaks for itself. Have we looked great in the last couple of years? Absolutely not. But a lot of teams, we've actually seen Cleveland. Cleveland was an organization that they was trying to get, stadium built. You saw the Rams trying to get stadiums built. We saw the Oakland. We saw the Rams, the Raiders, a lot of teams, even the Chargers. They tried to get stadiums built, and they end up moving to other cities because they couldn't get those stadiums built. Do not underestimate what this guy has done for this organization. If we did not get this, it was a strong possibility that the Falcons would not be the Atlanta Falcons. Bringing in and help building, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So he's helped us keep and help with a lot of jobs. Like my family, I got 2-3 people that work at the Mercedes-Benz. They have a job now because of that that Benz. So he brought a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities for not only the football players, but this entire city. What we're seeing is his work. Like I said, it's bigger than just football. Okay, and that's what we got to understand. The things that we see with Arthur Blank, the things behind the scenes with him, with these the organizations, the what you call those things, the
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but he let a lot of these organizations where we give money to the black community, we give the children's health care. You see Matt Ryan doing things with with Emory Healthcare. It's like a lot of these things are because of what these guys are doing in the community. These are the things that just don't go, like nobody talks about these types of things. And it's because of Arthur Blank and Rich McKay. Let's just be honest. These are the things. Go ahead, KStylzz.
Oh no, I was agreeing with you. That's what I was saying. Get rid of Rich McCabe. Like, no.
It's a lot of stuff. You can go with you. Like these are the things that we what happened for this city and we don't see, but it's because of Rich McKay and Arthur Blank, why we have certain things in this city.
Right. And I completely agree, Mike. I seen a comment here from Sergeant AR10. What's up, homie? He was basically saying Rich always brings in talent. We have to develop our talent. And I completely agree. And I think that this is a great statement. Like, we haven't done a good job of the talent that we have brought in. We haven't done a good job of cultivating the talent. Some of it we have, because you've seen guys that are homegrown, like the Fourier Aluakans, that now is like basically a Pro Bowl linebacker. We've seen the Isaiah Olivers that we gave them, like you talk about, Mike, gave them that 3 years to actually gain that confidence, get put in the right position to be that slot corner. And we've seen these guys come along. I think the Rich McKay has done an excellent job at bringing in the talent. I just think that the last coaching staff that we had in the last regime, we haven't did a good job of cultivating that talent and developing that talent. So what Sergeant AR10 was saying is great. I completely agree. We have to cultivate that talent. The talent that we bring in, we have to use these guys. And I think that's one thing that we're seeing already with this new regime, with Arthur Smith and with Dean Pease. And that's why I said that these guys didn't lie to us. Pretty much everybody they drafted this year, if you guys notice, they're out there on the field playing. Ogundeji's playing. I seen Tyquan Graham out there last week playing. We recently seen Darren Hall out there playing. We seen all these young guys, Richie Grant, all the guys pretty much we drafted this year. Jalen Mayfield's out there playing. Like pretty much all of the guys that they recently drafted are out there on the field playing. If they didn't originally start out playing, they started developing these guys early, because early on, Richie Grant really wasn't playing all that much. But now he's actually out there on the field. So I feel like we just have to do a better job at cultivating the talent and developing the talent that we have homegrown, because we have talent. And we've been saying this here at AFN. The Falcons have talent. We just have to develop that talent and give these guys time. Even with the offensive line, Matt Hennessy, like we all are just impatient. We got to be patient and let these guys grow, because we keep saying that these guys can't play. Like I remember we were saying Isaiah Oliver, he's one of the worst corners in the league. But when we gave him that time to grow, and I can be honest, I was one of those ones like, yeah, Isaiah Oliver's terrible, he got to go. But now that we gave him that time and they actually found out what he's good at, and we cultivated the talent, now he's a gem. Like, how many fans have we seen this year already saying, man, I miss Isaiah Oliver. Man, we could use Isaiah Oliver right now. He's like one of the keys to our defense now. But you got to allow these guys to grow. It's not always about just going out, draft one guy this year. If he don't pan out in the first year, go and draft and try to replace him. Like, give him time to grow. You know what I'm saying? Give this guy time. Like Matt Hennessy, Jalen Mayfield, give these guys a chance. They're rookies. Like, this is Hennessy's first time starting. Like, give these guys Drew Dahlman. Like, all of these guys we drafted, they're actually out there playing and they're developing and getting better game after game, because pretty much all of these guys, Darren Hall played great last week. Pretty much all of these guys, Jalen Mayfield from week 1 until now, he's not making the same mistakes he made against the Philadelphia Eagles in week 1 when it looks like he was ready to quit. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing an excellent job at developing these guys. And I think that's one thing that we didn't see in the prior regimes is they didn't cultivate the talent that they had or use all of the draft picks that we had. We've seen the Deidre Sanats. We've seen the Quadri Olsen. Quadri Olsen's finally getting a chance, and these guys didn't even draft him.
Right.
Hold on. We got a new member here. Robert Blassingame has become part of the family.
Thank you, sir.
Pick up the pieces. We ain't did that in a while. I ain't did that in a while. But appreciate you, new member. And y'all show him some love. I saw this comment right here. Zizaz said we have to establish culture that goes a long way as well. And that's the main thing they're trying to build. Because the thing about it is, and I know a lot of people have been complaining, and trust me, a lot of people have been complaining about the way the team has been winning as far as not really blowing teams out like that. And we said, like, coming from where you're used to seeing that high explosive scores and like the 40 points and stuff like that. They not, like I said, we've been doing that for the last 14 years. At the end of the day, you have to change it one way or another. If you see the culture of all the teams that are going to these playoffs, that are winning, the main culture that they have is the trenches, the physicality, the mental toughness,
depth,
accountability.
We saw that today.
I don't know if you guys saw the preview going back to that hard nose attitude. 1990 with one of the most underrated head coaches of all time.
Jerry Glanville.
He does not get enough credit. That dude, we're going back to that. That's the reason why they're going back to the Dirty Bird. They're going back to their roots. Bringing in those guys. Jesse Tucker to sit down and talk about how did they get to that point where they had, dominant defenses. They were tough, they were physical, they was able to get to the Super Bowl. We're seeing that now. This is not going to be pretty football anymore. So all that, like I said before, going back to what winning football is all about, playing solid defense, solid quarterback play, and having a solid run game. Got to have toughness in this league. That's what it all comes down to, toughness. Got to have toughness, and that's what we've been missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, and then you also have to remember at those point in times where we were scoring those 30s and 40s, and you got 400-yard games, and you got 200-yard receiving games and stuff like that. You tend to forget that a lot of those close games that team was playing in, they were losing those games even against the bad teams. I just want to make sure people remember that. Like you said, even it, like you said, and that's the main difference with this year is the big difference between last year and this year. Last year we was 0-8 in games decided by 6 points or less. We have more victories in 6-point games this year than we did last year.
Mm-hmm. Think about that.
The only game, really, if you actually look at outside of the first game, it's really only been 2 games this year where we look absolutely destroyed out there. Well, 3 games. But hold on, Millie Mill said, remember when Mike just individually made videos spazzing about the same thing he spazzes about now? Matt Ryan haters. Well, it gets to a point.
That's not true. I don't spazz out.
Hey, look, I was about to say it's to the point now. Like I said, I don't even call them Matt Ryan haters. I don't even call them obsessors no more. I'm just gonna call them views. That's what I'm gonna call them now. They just views now.
Man, that's it, views.
We're just gonna call them views. Don't call them Matt Ryan haters no more. Don't call them Matt Ryan obsessors no more. They're views. Because when Matt Ryan becomes part of the show, they coming to watch. So, so we just call, like I said, y'all can still call now. I'm gonna just call them views. I'm like, what's up, view? You be looking like, what the hell is you talking about? Like, hey man, we just gonna add it. Hey, you got a Matt Ryan topic? You gonna come watch? Of course you will. Yeah.
That's coming here.
I don't want to see pretty football. I just want to see winning football. Period. I mean, because think about it like this, and we're gonna have the we're gonna look at the Cleveland Browns franchise, for example. Okay, so we just gonna say this with the new court. Everybody saying the new quarterback is gonna be the guaranteed thing to put us back over the hump. No, I ain't gonna use the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna use the Indianapolis Colts. This was kind of the same thing that they went through, where you had the established veteran, but you wanted the new guy right away. You had to get rid of the established veteran because you couldn't pay both of them. By doing that at the quick rate that they did it like that, you couldn't build a team around the new guy. And because the new guy kept getting hit and kept getting hurt, Andrew Luck only played literally 5 years in the league before he retired.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at how the Cleveland Browns built their team now from what they used to, Cleveland Browns been looking. We talk about Miami been looking for a quarterback since Dan Marino in 2000. Cleveland Browns been looking for a quarterback since the 80s. They haven't had a consistent quarterback since Bernie Kosar.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Eagles still trying to find a quarterback since Donovan McNabb.
And I know you, Dad. He know how long the Bears been looking for.
Bears ain't never had a quarterback, dog. The Bears don't know what a quarterback is, bro.
the Bears ain't had, bro. The Bears ain't had a quarterback since the 40s.
Yeah, the Bears ain't never had a quarterback.
Sorry, Mr. Red. I apologize for that one.
Oh, he know what time it is. He'll come up here and tell you the Bears ain't never had no quarterback, bro.
But Ryan S. Games with the $4.99 super chat. 4 of the Falcons' 5 losses have been blowouts or shutout, but when we win, we are competitive. The Falcons are winning more close games. We got one of the Ghostbusters that came in here.
Look, yeah, a rare appearance from Miss Maggie T.
We gotta go,
Ghostbusters. I told y'all, man, y'all come with that bullshit. We ain't addressing it no more. We just blocking you now.
Ryan Games, thank you for that. I wanted to interrupt y'all before y'all get into the next super chat because I see another one from Brian Cruz. But earlier during the show, I think somebody had the phone in their pocket, one of our administrators, and I've seen some people on the other AFN chat saying that they were blocked from Matt Mike Sports channel. So if you are hidden or blocked or whatever, please message me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Miss Maggie T. You can email me at maggiet@AtlantaFalconsNation.com. I'll go back through the settings later on for Matt Mike Sport to see who I recognize that shouldn't be blocked. But if you are blocked right now, please let us know. Go on over to AFN and let us know that you're blocked so we can go ahead and get you unblocked. We apologize for the inconvenience of that. Of course, we love y'all. We ain't trying to block all of y'all. I know Dre the statement. That's you. That is you, bro.
He said, my bad, I was at work.
I'm about to get my ruler
Yo,
You know, so this don't make no sense.
The blocking spree. It wasn't me, y'all. Okay, I ain't do it this time. Okay.
Exactly.
But what's up, everybody? I know it's been a minute. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm in the back. Just want to say hey and drop in and everything. But y'all go ahead and proceed. Appreciate y'all today. All right, y'all.
We got a drive by from anime. That ain't that fun. Y'all got to see anime for a while.
I ain't get cussed out. Hallelujah.
Exactly.
I didn't get cussed out.
So you spoke a little too soon, man.
Wow, you son of a gun.
Brought that back up. You being nice. You mellow Mike today, so I ain't got nothing.
I've been nice. I've been good.
Okay. Yep. You did bring Miss Maggie out. It's
God
all
damn it.
good.
God damn
All
it,
right, y'all.
God damn it, anime.
Oh man.
But like you said, we got the $1.99 super chat from Brian Cruz. Said, "Do you think Fowler's living up to his contract?" Oh man, this is about close to the Calvin Ridley goddamn thing with the coaches. Like, bruh.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something controversial, and you probably just based on that alone. I can't say yes or no, because we know that this defense has had its issues. So I can't see and say like, because he hasn't had, like Grady hasn't had a lot of help, and we know for sure that Fowler and Grady have been the main two guys that you have to depend on. So if you had guys, like we said, in a rotation, a solid rotation, and I say, okay, look at Fowler, look at his numbers and say, all right, should he have more than three, four sacks? I think so. But again, I like the offense. I can't say that these guys, that they're not doing their job. They're not getting open, but I can't just say, all right, you just suck. Because we know that these guys, a lot of these guys weren't even drafted. Okay, let's just be honest. So I can't put those expectations on. He was brought here to be a piece along with Tack. Okay, we got to make that clear. He was supposed to be a piece to go along with Grady and Tack. Tack flipped out. Okay, Tack flipped out, and then put him in a position where he had to be that guy, the only edge guy for the most part. So I can't say yes or no until we see him with another guy, and I doubt he'll be back. But I can't say that I just can't put it. I can't say yes or no because we just don't have enough pieces on the defense. Like, let's just be real. We did not have a lot of pieces up front. It was just Grady Jarrett and Dante Fowler. Let's be real.
Grady Jarrett and the boys.
Right, that's it.
I'm going to chime in, Mike, when it comes to Dante Fowler. And it's funny that Brian made this comment because I was going to make a video about Dante Fowler, because I actually read another article today, but this one was from the AJC, and they were talking about Dante Fowler and the incentives he can get the rest of the season if he gets so many sacks. Because right now he's at 3.5 sacks after Sunday's game, and they said if he gets like 5 sacks, he'll get $1 million incentive. And I'm gonna do a whole video, so this is just a little plug for my channel, TalkSports. Tomorrow I have that video up for you guys about Dante Fowler. But I agree with you, Mike. I can't really say if he has or if he hasn't lived up to the contract because it's still in process. He's still under that contract. But I'll say this, he's the best edge rusher we have. And if I'm the Falcons, I'm holding on to my best edge rusher, because a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about this in my video, we look at his contract. He had a $45 million contract for 3 seasons. And when I went and looked it up, they said that his contract is he's like the 45th paid defensive end / outside linebacker in the league, which means he's not making a whole lot of money. Like, yeah, he's the highest paid edge on our team, but he's not making He's not making a whole lot of money. Like he didn't get that Khalil Mack type of contract with $100 million or something like that. So if I'm the Falcons, I'm keeping Dante Fowler around, especially because they went in and changed his contract and they kind of made it like I'm talking about Calvin Ridley, where it's based off of incentives of what he does on the field. So it's not like a whole bunch of guaranteed money out there other than the money he got when he first signed with the team. So you guys know I love Dante Fowler. He's my favorite edge rusher on this team, one of my favorite defensive players on this team. But I think that this question is the jury is still out on that. We got to see the rest of this season on how many sacks he actually ends this season with. Because one thing I can say about Dante Fowler is since he's been here, he's kind of had injuries, and that's a problem. Like if you're going to stay injured, that could be like if he gets injured again, knock on wood, God forbid, you know, any other injuries this season, because he already missed 3 games with that knee, a hyperextended knee. He had to go on IR for three weeks. If he gets injured again this season, I don't think he'll be back. But if he can finish the rest of this season and he finishes this season strong, they may decide to keep him around and like draft another edge rusher and bring in some more help on that defensive line.
So he's still on the contract for 22. So he's not a free agent.
He's not a free agent, exactly. So I don't see a reason why you cut him. Because to be honest, the Falcons have cut enough players where we're still having to pay these guys. So if I'm the Falcons, I keep him around at least one more year to next year. Because like you said, he's under contract. But I think we're going to see a lot more out of Dante Fowler as we continue to bring in bigger bodies on this defensive line. Really, I don't even think it's mainly based off of bringing in another edge rusher. I really think it depends on those big guys in the middle. Because I actually went and looked up the stats for Grady Jarrett and Dante Fowler, because those guys have been the impact players on our defensive line. And it'll surprise you guys. Grady Jarrett this year only has 1 sack. Like I went and looked it up, 1 sack. Yeah. And I think he only has like
3 tackles for losses.
Yeah, 3 tackles for loss. That's not a lot. But when you think about it, it's like he's really playing the nose position. He's playing out of position because Grady's not a true nose, but he's always taking on that double teams. Until we got Anthony Rush recently and Mike Pennell, we know that Tyler Davison wasn't doing anything. So Grady Jarrett mainly has been filling that Tyler Davison role. So that's the reason why he only has 1 sack. Like we know if he had help, he definitely would have more tackles for loss because he's right up there with the Aaron Donalds as far as his move, pass rush moves and things of that nature. So that's what I'll say with that is the jury's still out on Dante Fowler and Grady Jarrett as far as they need more help, period. Bring the cavalry. We need to draft more guys, but I really think it's dependent on bringing in bigger bodies in the middle because when you collapse the pocket with those big bodies, that's when you're able to get off the edge. You can't really do nothing on the edge if you have no interior pressure. If that pocket's perfect, Tom Brady will sit right there behind his center and his guards all day and just throw the football. You're not going to be able to do anything rapid. You'll wrap around behind him, but you're not going to be able to sack him when he's just stepping up in the pocket. You have to have somebody in the middle that's pushing that pocket where he has to go towards the outside. If you don't have no interior pressure, I don't care how great your edges are. It's not going to matter.
And for what I looked up, y'all all right. Dante Fowler is under contract for next season for $4.6 million.
Right, which is a bargain. That's not you go out and try to pass rush.
You're gonna keep that, especially you're gonna need all the cap space you're gonna need for next season. So you're gonna have to keep that. And the thing about it is he ain't got no dead cap, he ain't got no dead money owed to him too.
Right.
Right. So it's one of those, like you said, it's one of those bargain contracts where, okay, if he do something, we getting him for the low. But he absolute garbage, we can cut him and nothing's gonna happen. But when you said Tyler Davison, I have to throw this picture up. I ain't did it all season. Every time I see this picture, I think of Tyler Davison. Look, Mike. That's Tyler Davison. Powder toast, man. Powder toast, man. That's all he is. Powder toast.
Oh man, I ain't seen that. I haven't seen that one in a minute.
We ain't seen that in a while.
KStylzz, you should you did some justice with that powder toast, dog. You should have put some cottonelle tissue up there, man.
Nah, he ain't even worth the goddamn tissue, bro. He ain't even worth the tissue. The tissue's worth something. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Exactly.
Toast is tougher than Talladega.
Exactly. Yes, the toast man is back. And a lot of people don't know that was originally for Isaiah Oliver until Isaiah Oliver proved himself. Powder Toast Man is now Tyler Davidson. It's always been Tyler Davidson. I just never put it up there. So when we say Powder Toast Man, that motherfucker just get the award. Let me put it back up there so people can look how stupid this looks. Look how stupid that looks. He's a toast scraping toast, and he cross out. But yeah, but Triple G had this comment here I wanted to hear. Though he'll talk about the Colts told Peyton Manning to kick rocks. Manning went on to set the seasonal touchdown and yards record, win an MVP, Super Bowl, and the Colts, well, they sniffed nothing. So that's just always one of those cases. That's just one of those cases. Sometimes be careful what you ask for, because you could put the Falcons in a situation where they could be looking for a quarter. They could be missing and looking for quarterbacks for the next 10 to 12 years.
That's what Chicago did to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Well, they tried to do it. They thought the organization was better than the players, and then they haven't been the same since. They haven't been the same since. Just keep it real.
Right.
Hot garbage for about 30 years. Yeah.
Exactly.
98 was a long time ago. 98 was a long time ago.
It damn sure was. But like I said, that's why I was talking about with the Cleveland Browns organization and what they've done the last few years, where they was spending damn near 13 years looking for the franchise quarterback, and really just that. Then they switched the ideology and said, you know what? Let's build this team first and then find our quarterback.
That's a great point, KStylzz. You need to say that again, bro. That's the statement of the show right there.
Yeah. And we gonna cut this part right here, and we're gonna say this. What the Cleveland Browns did was from 19 whatever the hell, by 89 or something, up to 2017, they was looking for a franchise quarterback, and that's all they was looking for. They was looking for franchise quarterback, and for some god reason, a cornerstone, a franchise cornerback. I don't know what their obsession was with that position, but they went to the playoffs twice since 1988 or something like that. So remember, Bill Belichick was also a coach in Cleveland when they were sucking.
So that's why you had to go to New England and learn how to cheat.
But hold on, they asking for it, so I'm gonna have to throw it one time.
Oh yes, my God, really? Yeah, because Dan Quinn now is gonna be the interim head coach for the Cowboys since they coaches done caught the COVID. But as I was saying about the Cleveland Browns, once 2018 hit, they had a change in their philosophy. Yeah, they did draft Baker Mayfield, but what they did was, up to that point, was they was building the trenches, offensively, defensively. Then they was going out and getting guys that complement on the defensive side of the ball. Then you draft Nick Chubb. Then you get Kareem Hunt. You go, but the thing about it, they once they built it from the inside out,
the fortunes changed. The Falcons' problem was we was building from the outside in on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Because it was flashy.
That was the statement of the show right there, KStylzz. You made a great point because if you think about it, and that's what we were saying the other night when we were talking about building the team, like it takes a team to win a Super Bowl, not one guy. You know, I don't care how great. We've seen that with Michael Vick when we had Michael Vick here, and Mike talked about it. We had a defense then, and we had a running game. But even with Michael Vick, as great as a athlete he was, he couldn't even do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? As great as Vick was, explosive athlete, he couldn't do it by himself. The Philadelphia Eagles in that NFC Championship game was able to scheme around his athleticism. You know what I'm saying? They stopped chasing him around like a rabbit and just said, just keep him in the pocket. Just let him run around. Just keep him in the pocket. Don't run past him. Like I always say, if you're a defensive end, don't run past him and give him running lanes. Just let him dance around in the backfield. Make him throw the ball down the field. Make him read a defense. So it's always ways around beating one player. So what you said is perfect. Like you don't need necessarily the best quarterback in the league to win a Super Bowl if you got the right pieces around him. And that's what we all were talking about the other night. We've seen the Nick Foles win a Super Bowl. We seen 2 years ago the Minnesota Vikings. I think it was either 2 or 3 years ago where they had who was the backup quarterback that they had who got to the NFC Championship with them against the Eagles in 2016.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum. Yeah, you seen Case Keenum have a decent season, but it's because he had a team around him. They actually had, think about this, 2 backup quarterbacks playing in the NFC Championship game. Nick Foles versus Case Keenum. That goes to show you right there. If you have a solid running game, a good defense, and a good special teams and good coaching, you don't have to have great quarterback play. You can have a journeyman quarterback as long as you have all of the pieces around him. And that's what we keep saying about Matt Ryan. And that's why we keep saying he's not the problem here in Atlanta. If you build the pieces around Matt Ryan, you don't need Matt Ryan to carry this team to a Super Bowl. We've seen that. And I always compare Matt Ryan to John Elway. When John Elway finally got over that hump, he was no longer the gunslinger and had the arm strength that he once had. But he had a great running game, great defense, great coach in Mike Shanahan. That's all you need.
Hey. Terrell Davis.
Yeah. That's all you need. They won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. That's all you need. All they needed him to do was make the plays when they needed to be, when they presented themselves. The same thing we talked about with Peyton Manning. His last year, they had Brock Osweiler playing a couple games where they benched Peyton Manning. Then in the playoffs, they brought him in, and on key third downs, they would have, Peyton Manning make a couple plays here and there. But other than that, that defense, special teams won them that Super Bowl against the Panthers. That's all you need.
Yeah, Willis McGahee running the ball.
That's it. Willis McGahee, no Sean Moreno. Yeah, I mean, that's all you need.
Yeah. And Wallace said, but with all those bad seasons, the Browns they wasn't paying nobody, so they had the money to go get. Yeah, because all the players they were drafting were terrible.
You don't have to pay nobody. Ain't nobody gonna go there because they were terrible, and you didn't have to pay nobody.
Hold on. Let me look something up right quick. Oh boy.
Oh goodness.
Cleveland Browns quarterback history. So we
don't need to do that.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it so I can tell. So I gotta tell these people. This is one thing you have to take account of when you talking about quarterbacks now, and what you asked for. Hold on, that ain't the list I was looking for.
Man, the last quarterback they had that was good was Vinny Testaverde and Derek Anderson. That was about it.
And Derek Anderson wasn't that damn good anyway. He played one season. He don't count. We talking about at least a 3-year span.
He'll go right here, KStylzz. He said, "Oh God, no! You about to go about 30 names deep, bro."
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go 30 names deep.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna go 30 names deep.
Them boys that had a whole offense full of quarterbacks. It's only 11. It's only 11 players on offense. They had about 2 different offense.
We just like you said, they thought Tim Couch was gonna be the guy. That didn't work. You got Kelly Holcomb, Jeff Garcia, Luke McCown, Derek Anderson, Charlie Fry, Trent Dilfer, Brady Quinn, Ken Dorsey, Bruce Gradkowski.
You can stop now.
Oh no, I'm not done yet. We got Colt McCoy, Jake DeLone, Seneca Wilder, Brandon Wheaton. I don't know what the hell they was thinking with that one.
That man was 30-year-old when you drafted him.
Exactly. We ain't even gonna talk about Johnny Manziel.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The last one I'm gonna go with Deshaun Kaiser because I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan and I think he's absolute garbage, but whatever. But yeah, that is a positive. But like I said, when you start thinking about trying to draft quarterbacks, that's one of the possibilities that you have to think about when you're making that decision. Now, you can hit on it and you can find that quarterback. But you ever thought about what happens if you don't? You go down a history like that.
All right, KStylzz, you don't put me in depression for the last time. I'm good on that. I'm up here thinking about Falcon.
No. But like I said, that's the thing, and that kind of goes into what old boy was talking about last night, as far as talking about moving on to the next quarterback. Like I said,
there's no guarantee for that.
There's no guarantees. Like I said, the Falcons, like I said, you put the Falcons in a position like that. And if the Falcons be in a situation to where you're looking for a quarterback for the next 10, 12 years, y'all motherfuckers ain't even got a year to be patient with somebody.
The Rams just literally gave up a younger quarterback for an old quarterback. All right? Just think about that for a second. There's no guarantee that you're going to get a great quarterback. So let's just stop all of this. We need to push guys out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no guarantee that you're going to get a good quarterback just because he can run fast or just because you're sick of looking at him. Because the last thing, like you said before, the last thing you want to see is a Joey Harrington. The last thing that you want to see is a Byron Leftwich. All right, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see Chris Redmond
like I said, you could think you get him. You think you trying to get the next coming of Cam Newton, then you end up with 7-8 years worth of Joey Harrington. But if you want to prevent that, you build the foundation first. So just in case if you don't hit on that quarterback, you ain't got to put all, like I said, you already got the foundation set to where you can lean on that.
Mm-hmm. And you can still win. Like you were saying, that's the end goal. You can still win. Like when you were saying all that you were saying, KStylzz, I was just thinking about how many teams have won Super Bowls with mediocre quarterbacks or below average quarterbacks. Like Mike was talking about the Chicago Bears. You had Jim McMahon in '85. You look at the Nick Foles of the 2017 Eagles. You had the Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like you don't have to have great quarterback play. Even
Terry Bradshaw, he was mediocre as hell too.
Right, exactly, exactly. And to be honest, if we can be completely honest, Tom Brady was mediocre when he won his first couple Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. He wasn't Tom Brady back then. He was he had a good defense. Like in 2001, I believe, when they won their first Super Bowl, he was a backup. Like, let's be real. The defense won that Super Bowl. The first couple Super Bowls they won, Tom Brady was not the focal point of that team, but a focal point of the team. It wasn't until later on in his career when he started winning that he was the focal point. So you can win without having a great quarterback. And that's why we need to stop, like you said, stop focusing on that one position. Like, build the whole team. You can win with a mediocre quarterback.
Phil Simms.
Have the ancillary pieces, you can win.
Phil Simms, Joe Flacco, and believe them first 2 or 3 Super Bowls that Tom Brady won, he was kissing the feet of Adam Vinatieri, who had to kick a 47-yard field goal against 20-mile-an-hour winds against Oakland, the Tuck Rule game.
Right.
So yeah, they said Phil Simms was mediocre, but yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I'm Cordell. Hold on. You gotta remove the thing.
I just had to throw that up real quick.
I'm Cordell Patton, and these are the Falcons.
I just had to throw that one up there.
Hey, that's the way. Hey, that's the way it looked like.
Look like it for real.
That. Hey, look, Drew True Statement said, "Oh shit, somebody else think Terry Bradshaw was average." Like, shit, Terry Bradshaw said he was average.
He said he was average.
He said he sucked.
Bruh,
that dude had a career 51% completion percentage. He threw 2 more career touchdowns than interceptions. If that ain't mediocre, and he got 4 Super Bowls. Steel Curtain, Franco Harris. That's all you need to know.
And all those pieces around him, KStylzz.
All those pieces.
Stallworth, Lynn Swan. Yeah, man, the list goes on and on. Hall of Famers he played with. So you're only as good as, like you said, your teammates. What's around you.
They literally had 9 Hall of Famers on that team alone. Maybe even more than that. Alone. So, yeah, you only as good as the players around you. That goes with any quarterback. That goes with any player, really. Because, boy, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, somebody said that Terry Bradshaw was an all-time great. Yeah, that defense carried the shit out of him. And like I said, that is nothing wrong with that. So even when people talk about Dak Prescott and say, well, he's not a good quarterback because he needs everything to be perfect around him, I'm like, duh. Every quarterback needs everything to be perfect around him.
Terry Bradshaw was what they needed. They needed a quarterback who can run around, be mobile, do enough in the passing game, hand the ball off, to Franco and
Blyer or something like that.
Yeah,
Rocky
Blyer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's what he needed to do. He was just a guy. He was the leader that they need on the offense. That's what he was. So there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's what Brad Johnson was for the Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl. That was all defense. But they just needed a veteran quarterback that just gonna get the ball to the players when they need to. Hold on. We might make this the last comment of the night. So, how many Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers Brady has played with compared to Matt Ryan? Okay, let's go ahead. Hold on. Let's go ahead.
Too damn many. Okay.
Hold on. Let's start naming them. You got Teddy Bruschi. You got Ty Law. Ty Warren. Vince Wilfork. Corey Dillon. Randy Moss. Let's see, offensive line.
Is Rodney Harrison?
Rodney Harrison.
Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? Rodney Harrison?
I think he's in there.
Okay. I know Ty Law got in, but I don't know if Rodney got in.
He said how many Hall of Famers or future.
Oh, future. Okay, yeah. Well, he should be in there. Rodney Harrison should definitely be in there.
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski going to the Super Bowl. Adam Vinatieri going to the Super Bowl. I mean, not Super Bowl, Hall of Fame. I meant. Yeah, y'all know what I meant. Oh, hey, what was it? Otis Smith. Nobody talks about how good of a damn corner he was.
Tony Wright said Willie McGinnis.
Revis.
Darrell Reeves.
Darrell Reeves, Aqib Talib.
Really, I think that Asante Samuel should be in based off of his numbers. He's not in yet, but he might get in. He should be in.
Oh yeah, I forgot Curtis Martin did play for the damn Patriots too. Yep. So we already had
Junior Seau played with them
12
at the end of his career.
Let's see who else. Let's look at offense.
I
can't really count him because he didn't really play. He didn't really play for him. He played like one preseason game for him. So I can't.
How about Richard Seymour? Do y'all think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's going in there. I think he's gonna go in there. He's in there.
I think he's gonna go in there. Let's see.
Look, we ain't even talking about his current teammates like AB, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, probably gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
Sue.
Dominican Sue. Damn. Yeah, like I said, it's a whole lot of Hall of Fame. And then when you look at Matt Ryan's Hall of Famers, let's see, you look at Tony Gonzalez,
Julio.
I don't think they're gonna put Roddy in there. Not right now. Anyway, Roddy may. I don't know how they'll do Roddy.
Yeah,
that was gonna be kind of iffy. Let's look on the defensive side. Okay, you got Asante Samuel there.
John Abraham. He should.
John Abraham. Rob Coleman ain't gonna be in there because they not finna. I don't think he had enough time.
Don't get him enough respect. He got the number, but he just don't get the respect.
Nah. Grady Jarrett, Dwight Freeney. Yeah, Dwight Freeney. That's really about it.
Alex Mack, I think he'll get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Alex Mack, that's 8. I can't think of nobody else.
That's pretty much it, bro.
Yeah. So that's about damn near 7. That's about 16-8.
Yeah, it's not close. And then the guys that we named for Matt Ryan, let's be real, they didn't play along with Matt Ryan. Like Dwight Freeney, he had 1 year, a half a year with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. It's not even really close. Even though some of those guys for the Patriots were not there the whole time, majority of them were. Because we didn't name, like, how about Mike Vrabel? Is he considered a Hall of Famer? I don't know. But he was there, pretty much his whole career. So it's just like, it's not even close. Because even when we named like Asante Samuel, he was only with Matt Ryan for like a year. Like the only guys that was consistently with Matt Ryan is Julio and Tony Gonzalez. Other than that, he really didn't play with a ton of Hall of Famers. To me, Roddy should get in, but he probably won't. But I think he should.
So, Lawyer Malloy was another one. Yeah, Jay Matthews is another one.
Yeah.
So like I said,
and we didn't even name none of the offensive linemen for those Patriot teams. Like Matt Light, there's a lot of guys that we missed out that are not in yet, but probably will get in.
Matt Light, Logan Mankins,
right?
David Andrews, shit, Shaq Mason. Like I said, they played long enough to be in those Hall of Fame. That's 4 more. So you looking at about 20 Hall of Famers right there for Tom Brady compared to about 10.
And then we forgot the McCourty. He probably will get in. The McCourty.
Which one? Both of them? You think
I think one. I think the one that's been on their team. I think it's Jason McCourty. Which one who's been there?
I think it's Devin McCourty.
Devin McCourty, number 32. Whichever one who's been there, because the other one only played a couple years there, but the one who's been on, who was drafted by the Patriots, he definitely will be a Hall of Fame, hands down.
Yeah,
I mean, you can throw coaches in there also. This man on that.
Yeah, Belichick definitely. I mean, you might as well go ahead and get him his bus right now.
Exactly. He might as well have his own wing in the Hall of Fame.
Right. And we know, I don't think none of our Matt Ryan's head coaches is. I can't think of one.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
Yeah. Like I said, we not because the question was how many Hall of Fame or future Hall of Famers.
Right.
So remember, that was the question.
Yeah, that's not even close.
Nah. Because we left a lot of guys off this Tampa team that probably will be Hall of Famers. We ain't even name all of them, because they still young in their career. So we like, even with the Falcons, like a player like Debo, he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, but we don't know if Deion Jones is going to get in because we know how injuries happen all of a sudden, But if he stay on the same trajectory, then he could possibly be a future Hall of Famer.
Right.
And AJ Terrell, if he stay on the same trajectory, he could possibly be. He has the talent, but we don't know.
But at the end of the day, the phrase of the night is, "You're only as good as the players around you." Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wind it down for the night because your boy got to go to work in the morning. So we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in for the almost 2 hours and 30 minutes of show. Good Lord. But gonna let the see if anybody got their final thoughts for the night, which I want to get off your chest and stuff like that. So we're gonna let the minister start us off.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because we had a long show tonight. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in as always. Look, we might have to do a trivia show or something like that one night because man, we went back in history to some.
We can do some history shows. That's for sure.
Yeah,
y'all
man.
Want history show? Just let us know if y'all want history shows, man.
Yeah, we'll take y'all down memory lane, but yeah, just talking about those Hall of Famers. It's just so many. Like when you name all of those guys, you just see how many great teammates Tom Brady had. Man, like it's crazy. But with that being said, like I said, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on all the channels. TalkSports. I'm on my way to 2,000. I believe AFN last time we did a show, we were like 100 away. I'm not too sure how close we are to 2,000 at this point. But definitely go hit that subscribe button for us at Atlanta Falcons Nation, Mad Mike Sports, KStylzz 6-Man. Also, Twisted Torch TV. Y'all definitely go over and hit the subscribe button for him as well. But I'm going to have some content coming for y'all this week. A lot of interesting content. So be on the lookout for a video about AJ Terrell, Dante Fowler this week. Those are 2 videos that I'm working on. But with that being said, like I said, I ain't going to hold y'all. We're going to try to give y'all the rest of the this late night back. But we appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Continuing to support us. But it's a big game this Sunday. Hopefully we can get our first home win, which is crazy that we in week 12 and we still haven't won a single home game. But at least we're still in the playoff hunt. But hopefully we can get our first victory at home. And I'll just kick it back over to you guys.
All right. Like that, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. I know this kind of got a little long-winded at the end, but you know how we do it over here. Man, we started talking about some good stuff, man. We just keep rolling with it. So definitely y'all continue to support Atlanta Falcons Nation as well as your boy 6-Man, KStylzz. On the road to 1,000, man. I need about 479 of y'all to get there.
We gonna get there.
We gonna get there eventually, but like I said, y'all hold on.
The 1K is always the hardest. Getting the 1K is always the hardest.
Exactly. Cause they might be sick or tired of your ass once you hit 500. But
right.
But, damn it, where that? Hold on. We're gonna do it right now. I need help to get to 1,000. I need help. But appreciate the love everybody been showing, and like I said, y'all make sure y'all share these videos with your neighbors, your mama, your neighbor's dog, just whoever, because that's very important as well too. And like I said, if you watch the video, you not subscribed either on anybody's channel, either Jews Talk Sports, either Mad Mike, is AFN, or 6-Man KStylzz, just hit the subscribe button. It's free.
It really helps.
It
really does help. I don't know how many times I say I love it when y'all watch, but that hitting that subscribe button means a lot more. Just
exactly.
Just support. That's
Exactly.
it. It for
Cause
us,
they watching, they just
Mhm.
not subscribing. That's the problem. I'm like, Lord, well, I'm about to say at this point, boy, if I
Put some
start
damn
charging
Gorilla
people,
Glue. I put some Gorilla Glue on there. That subscribe button, man. Once you put it, that's it.
exactly, boy. It'd be like at this point, boy, if I start doing shit, boy, I'll make y'all charge y'all to watch my ass, boy. Y'all gonna really subscribe then. But
Hey,
for
man.
real though, it's all love, man. Like I said, eventually we'll get there. Just help a brother out. That's all I say. Just help a brother out.
All right.
I don't know what to say.
Well, damn. He really had nothing to say. Well, that's surprising, but that lets you know how mellow Mike is rolling tonight.
No, I'll just fucking with you. I was just gonna see how you go.
That was looking like I was
just gonna see how you were gonna react, and you like, you know what to do.
KStylzz about to say, well, y'all ain't gotta go home. Y'all ain't gotta go home.
Exactly.
Hey man, y'all look. We some jokers at the end of the day, man. We just like to have fun. We like to have fun too, man. Hit that subscribe button here at Atlanta Falcons Nation. TalkSports, KStylzz, man. The trifecta, the heavy hitters. All right, man. I promise you guys continue to leave those comments, leave those acts. KStylzz, the Ask Jew, Talk Sports. Leave those comments, man. Ask us some questions. I promise you that we will get to it. All right. I promise you we'll get to it. But that's all I got to say, man. You guys continue to do what y'all always do. Support us. Just hit that subscribe button, man. That subscribe button really does help. So I appreciate everybody for joining us. All I got to say. KStylzz, give it to him one more again.
One more again. As we say here at AFN, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here. You say.
Sucker.
I might go look